I think there were a couple of points in time that were monumental for me in my involvement as an artist here. And the first one was when I was nominated to be a featured artist. It had been a really long time since I had written anything, and I wrote pretty much all new songs for that. I had went deep in my journals. I'm like, I know I can write a song again. I know I can do it. You know, I finished a handful of songs. I shared them here, and it had been the first time in a long time, you know, that I had been able to do that. And it was kind of huge for me. And my writing, you know, it's gone through some phases, and that was a time where it had developed beyond something that it was before. When I was nominated for the Weather Vane opportunity, I felt like I really need to step it up, you know, when Weather Vane comes here, and I finished my song Flies so that we could do the workshop around that song. From that point on, my music has sounded different. There's just been so many points in time, you know, that I can point back to in what has developed my music and my song and my story. Like it's a part of my life. I remember the first Bring Your song I did not share. I didn't know what I was showing up to. The energy like was so memorable for me. I just was really inspired to, you know, take that next step into my craft. When I think about that transition from like my Bob Dylan acoustic phase to my Bob Dylan electric phase, I think I started to give myself permission to have fun with writing. I want to see what happens if I try to write something happy. And I think that's how Anya Van Rose evolved. It's not like I couldn't write like a happy song on acoustic guitar, but I just felt like when I challenged myself to step outside of what I was already doing, there was like a freedom that I had never felt before when I was writing my fingerpicky stuff. And just, you know, what I was going through in my life, I felt like I think it's time for me to try to focus on some of that, you know, instead of loss. John did play a big role in helping me develop my sound. You know, what I was doing before or what I'm doing now, he was a big part of that. It was cool to have that creative exchange with someone that was on the same page. I try to share music with him and vice versa, and we've discovered a lot of cool bands that we like love from each other, but sometimes it's like, oh yeah, John's already heard of that, I've already heard of that. Like we're on the same wavelength, and we take inspiration like from similar places. I've realized how important it is to get other people involved in my music.
Yeah.
And I think before I was feeling like I had to do everything myself. The more that I ask people to be involved in what I'm doing, I feel like there's a joy around it. People want to be involved. And I want that too. I want to be involved in other people's music. So that's something I've learned too, like among all the creatives that are buzzing around Realgrey. They're hungry, you know, for whatever the next creative endeavor, whatever that looks like. That feeds into like my creative energy too. I think that the studio, it's just played into my personal story so much and my understanding of my music and the value that it has. It makes me really proud to be a part of that story. And like, it's not, anytime I'm like sending an email or, you know, talking to an artist about whatever it is, you know, their project, it doesn't feel like a task or a job to me. Like I every step of the way, I feel joy in doing that, like whatever that is. I have the full confidence that when people come here and visit and meet us, that they will understand, you know, what has built into my journey as a musician and an artist. Hopefully that's transparent in what we do here, you know, because that's the important stuff. We're not here just to press the record button, and we want to know why they make the music that they make. Like month after month, like people coming back and us getting to hear like how they've developed and with their writing and talking about their music, and like musicians, creatives came out of the woodworks. I had no idea that there were other people in this area doing what I was doing. And I think that's been really just paramount for us to realize that we're like connecting all of these people And it's like, oh, they're just like me. I'm here doing the same thing. I can personally say that's been an encouragement for me. It's just been so cool to like watch the grit of like the one-on-one, like the collaborations.
You haven't said a damn thing about the tape machine.
Tape machine is cool. Something that's notable is that I've been unplugging the space heaters when I leave. Because Ron leaves them plugged in and running. And I'm like, I will be damned if this place burns down before we open it. I'm sure you would have done it whether I was here or not, but I look at it and I'm like, this is a fire hazard. We're going to shut it down.
Was your dad a fireman or something?
No, he was a technical writer.
I think it's just common sense not to leave a space heater on.
He's trying to find a source.
You might have something over there.
Well, you did say you're the random mind. She's the systematic mind.
Yeah.